Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Zooming in on an interesting question that we received from a viewer that was discussing and asking essentially, after one grieves the loss of a a covert narcissist in their life. You've exposed this person as a covert narcissist. You've identified that things aren't working, that they're just not fulfilling their needs. It's not a good fit. It's not a good match. It's not good for you. You're doing all the work in the relationship. Essentially, you're feeling, used up, and you've grieved the loss of this relationship. You've identified that this person cannot change, is not willing to change, is not able to change, and you've grieved the loss of this person in your life who you had really felt and held in such high esteem, really almost, an answer to your prayers, a beacon of light in your life, and you've then come to realize that this person essentially had a mask or a facade, or was presented in such a way that they were other than which they were able to provide to you. So the covert narcissist, if they're not able to relate to your feelings, identify with your needs, and they're not able to adapt with you and be resilient with you, oftentimes that's one of the keys that will cause someone to let go of the covert narcissist in their life. And then grieving that loss, and going through all the various stages of grief, to the point where you go through the denial, the anger, and then the release, and then the acceptance. Once you process through all those stages, and kind of moving on with your life, kind of getting back into your personal power, realizing all the different opportunity and possibilities that lay before you. Her question was, once you've kind of processed that and are no longer held back by guilt, through fear, through obligation, once you've kind of worked through that, is there any more guilt? And really that comes up. And the main thing ultimately is to realize that if you, in essence, served as a codependent in that relationship, which is not a hard and fast situation. I think, people who are in a codependent relationship where they're taking care of the needs of this person more than they're attending to their own, and more than they're getting recognition of their own. And they're able to realize that and then say, enough is enough. I need to be fulfilled and experience and have fun in my life. And if this partner isn't going to fit, then I have to let them go. So once you've identified that and realize that type of relationship no longer serves you, you have to then just be very cautious that critical conscientiousness that we just brought up in the John Bradshaw, where you learn a healthy sense of humility, a healthy sense of modesty, and a healthy sort of humbleness with regards to your relationships. You learn a sense of personal boundaries. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to go there next time. I'm not going to pick up the tab for all of their meals, or I'm not going to, do everything that they want to do and nothing that I want to do. Because that's what ends up happening generally with the codependent, is that they're putting everybody else's needs first, and feel like inside that they're just going to stuff theirs down. And so it's just to be very careful that you're consciously aware that you don't fall into that same sort of mentality or codependent sort of habit. So it's almost a habit, if you will. So you have to learn healthy habits, which are essentially saying, what, I know that I have boundaries, I know that I have self-respect, and my new partner, the people in my life who are healthy, are going to be able to respect that and don't shame me for having boundaries. Don't shame me for, having my limits, and are able to respect my limits, because it's only human, and I'm not superhuman. I'm not super codependent, and I'm, super perfectionism isn't going to serve me. And, silencing myself is not going to serve me. So it's saying, okay, I'm moving forward in my life. And that really, to let that person go is to release them in love and not in judgment. So if you're able to release them and let them go in love and say, what, I understand, I accept that that's who you are. I acknowledge that you are this and this type of person, and I'm not trying to force things. I'm not trying to change you. I realize that that is not my role. I'm no longer forcing a relationship to work that cannot. I'm now redirecting that energy towards something else. Once you let them go in love and not judgment, and then you are aware of your own personal boundaries, so you're not like trying to give too much to the other next time in the relationship, so you're able to kind of make those corrections, really then you let them go, and you don't have to feel a sense of guilt, a sense of paranoia, or a sense of obligation to them that really kind of fogs things over. The fear, the obligation, and the guilt. Once you're able to really release those and realize that those emotions aren't really serving you, then I think you're on solid ground. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support.